Welcome to episode 26 of BitesizeUGC. I'm KirkVat, and with me as usual is Captain PF Dennis. This episode focuses on the second mission up for grabs for the Gates of Stovokor mission contest.
It is a unique KDF offering by Chooch99, and it's called the Last Centurion. We'll begin true to form with a look at the story.
Without giving too much away, you're faced with a character from your past who is now seeking vengeance for the death of his loved ones. Your role in the events of both the past and the present are entirely up to you. It's a really creative story full of fun, humorous, and even sexy characters. If you're so inclined, you'll have a few additional adventures that are, let's just say, quite satisfying, especially if your Vulcan is going through Ponfar. Our biggest complaint was, it just didn't make sense that the Romulan wanted to kill us after we avenged the murder of his family.
I'd have to agree with KirkVat here on all points. While there was a lot going on, from extreme carnage to laugh-out-loud moments, a few of them could benefit from a tweak of their timing. We gave story 4 stars. On to map design.
The use of NPCs was really well done because most of the maps were entirely constructed around the characters. There's even a necessary map transition in order to show the animation changes that further the story. It's an innovative use of NPCs, but it yet again shows how authors must struggle with the limitations of the Foundry in order to tell a good story. The only part that I really didn't like was having a space battle at warp. Warp effects can be turned off during battles.
Chooch really put some time into this one with his use of dialogue trees and plenty of choices for the player. There were enough of them, in fact, for me to have even missed one until the very end. I was left saying, I wish I'd have seen her earlier. The environments were solid and appropriate with plenty of detail. Map design got 4 stars. Moving on to tech.
The optional paths of the story were nicely done, allowing players to have unique experiences based on their character's personality. Again, you can see the author struggling with the limitations of the toolset, but for the most part, the workarounds made sense.
I'll mention again this week that there's been a trend lately of missions pulling back from Foundry tricks a bit. There aren't many in this mission, but that's a good thing here. This mission really didn't need a gimmick to keep you interested. No one would dare call it dull. Tech is another 4 stars. Finally, there's difficulty.
As usual with KDF missions, I had a lot of problems, especially with the second space battle. I'll let the captain rate this one, but it seemed fairly unbalanced at times. It was certainly challenging, but very experienced KDF players might really enjoy these space battles.
While I found a couple of the battles were fatal at their beginning, once I realized what I was up against, I was challenged yet not overwhelmed. Also, the choices of enemies and the true enemies beneath their skins was not the typical fare. We gave difficulty 3.5 out of 5. And now, the bite-size breakdown.
Support the Foundry by playing these missions for yourself.
This has been episode 26 of BitesizeUGC.